Hi, welcome to Christina Talks Radio. You may have seen my previous video on the global orchestration directory. If you haven't, you can check it out. It's God is a projector. Christ in Human Design is the series. And if you haven't already liked or subscribed to my channel, that helps me be able to know what you respond to as my friends and my viewers and what will benefit you for me to create more content of. Like you, I have a regular job. I have a life. I have to provide for myself. And I love sharing about human design and Christ. Today's video is Christ in Human Design, how life responds to you and what God actually is. Have you ever wondered how Christ has anything to do with human design? Because on the surface, they seem completely separate. One is faith, one is mechanics. But I've come to see this. They don't just overlap. They describe different layers of the same reality. If we're going to talk about that honestly, we need to start with one very important distinction. God is not the system. Before anything else, I need to be clear about this. Yahweh, Adonai, capital G, God, is not the same thing as the global orchestration directory. God, the program. God is not the program, the stars, the mechanics, the structure. God is above and beyond all of it. And you may disagree with me, and that's perfectly reasonable. Human design is the science of differentiation, so of course we're going to have differences. But God is above and beyond all of it. What human design maps, what I sometimes refer to as the global orchestration directory, God, or the global consciousness program, the GCP, these are not God. They are functions within creation. Inside of that video, God is a projector. I describe the activations inside of the GCP, inside of the global orchestration directory, and how right now they are in the form of a projector. So the global orchestration directory is an emotional ego projector. February 15th, 2027, that's going to change. God will no longer be a projector. The global orchestration directory moves into a manifesting generator with ego. And the GCP and G.O.D are not God. They are functions within creation itself. They are part of the way life is organized. They are under God, not equal to him. So why use the language God at all? Because it helps us understand something practical. There is a structure to how life unfolds, a system that includes planetary movement, time cycles, energetic fields, human design mechanics. The system of life itself responds, it organizes, it guides, but it is not the source itself. Think of it like this. God equals creator, G.O.D, GCP, the created system through which life operates. And we are interacting with that system constantly, no matter our design type, no matter who and what we are, no matter if we believe in it or not. Ask, seek, knock, a spiritual truth and mechanical reality. Ask and it will be given unto you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be opened unto you. Matthew 7:7 from the Bible. This verse is often treated as faith-based encouragement, but it also describes something real about how life works. Because within the system of life itself, the part we can observe, interaction creates response. When you ask, when you seek, when you knock, you are engaging with the structure of life itself, and that structure responds. Not randomly, not emotionally, but systematically. You are inside the system, but not the source. If we imagine reality like a layered structure, God exists beyond and above it all. It's beautiful. The system, the global orchestration directory and the global consciousness program operates within creation. We exist inside that system. Again, I can do more videos if you're curious about the global orchestration directory and the locks and keys changing. The International Human Design School teaches about it. You can sign up for courses with the International Human Design School. My favorite instructor personally is Darshana. She's phenomenal with the cosmology. And I learned the GCP from Ra. If you want more videos on that content, like and subscribe to this, comment below, and I will show you more information about it. And we exist inside this system. The planets, as they are in our solar system and our spatial outer space, they program us. Human design shows the activations in our birth chart of where the planets were at our time of birth and 3 months before conception. That is the design imprint. And they show who we are, not how we're living, not what's going on today, but they show where we are conditioned and where we are designed to condition. Deconditioning is a part of the human design process at the basic level. Honoring your strategy and authority is everything. The Global Consciousness Program is about the outer stellar background field, and the shifts we're experiencing right now in the world are radical, right? The Global Orchestration Directory shows, for example, that we're moving from the gate of aloneness to the gate of sexuality and the activation of the outer stellar background field that programs the interstellar background field. We're moving from aloneness to sexuality as the temple. Can you imagine the radical differences we're going to feel after February 15th, 2027, where being alone was the temple itself, aloneness, and we're moving towards sexuality? It's amazing. Human design gives us a way to map the inner layer. And metaphorically, if we were to place humanity in such a larger body of awareness, I believe we would be something like the Ajna Center in human design, the conceptual awareness within creation, meaning we are not God, but we are part of what God created. If you put a lowercase g, God or goddess, we are absolutely each our own individual God or goddess, but we are below the hierarchy of the Almighty. We are not God, but we are part of what God created, and we are able to perceive, question, and interact with it. I have a relationship with God, with Jesus. The only way you get there is by asking, seeking, knocking, and you will find it. Our mind comes up with so many reasons to believe or not believe, to think one way or the other and navigate, but really, our body knows which direction it needs to go. And if you're also Christian like me, you may have experienced the dilemma. God doesn't always tell you he wants you to go right or left. He wants you to go get a new house, get a new job, stay on the job you're existing, stay with your existing partner. But he is always loving and comforting for you. He is always there for you. But he isn't always navigating your life with you. He trusts you. And he gave us a map to show us who we are. And that is what the human design chart is. It lets us hear our own inner authority that we were predestined with. You can book a session with me at holistichd.com or reach out there if you're curious to see your own chart and have a reading from somebody who believes in Jesus. Whether or not you believe in Jesus, the mechanics are solid. Right now, the system is supportive. One of the most important things to understand, the current structure of life is supportive of interaction, tribal interaction, and it's changing. For roughly the past 400 years, the system has been oriented towards seeking, discovering, asking for help, receiving guidance, being a projector, so to speak. So when you've experienced things like asking a question and getting clarity later, following a pull and it leading somewhere meaningful for you, feeling supported in your process, that's not just a belief. That's the system, the global consciousness program, responding with creation. Not God changing. The structure of life is being designed to support that interaction. It has been, and it is. That structure is changing. February 15th, 2027. That's when the global program shifts. There's a countdown timer on my website, holistichd.com, if you're curious. The locks and keys of the system change. The way life's gears work for us and plug into us and life itself is changing. The way support shows up is changing. The way we relate to each other is changing. This is the system within creation evolving. God remains constant. The structure does not. Our human design determines how we interact with the system. This is where human design becomes deeply, deeply practical. Because not everyone interacts with life the same way. We're each unique. Both Christianity and human design teach that we are each a unique creation, differentiated from everything and everyone else. Manifestors, you initiate, you inform. Even your relationship to life, you might say, God, I'm struggling. I need help. You move first. Ra used to say, the joke, manifestors are the gods saying, let them try. And truly, it is beautiful to be a manifester. It can be challenging also, as you move first and we can initiate from ourself and from our not self, but we have impact in the not self. Other types don't have if we initiate from the not self. All types need to wait. This is just part of the process, even for manifestors. Generators, you respond. Life presents something and your body answers. People present something and your body answers. A yes, a no, a pull, your sacral response. You don't force life. Even a manifestor can't force life. Generators aren't designed to push. You respond to what's already there. Projectors, you wait for the invitation. Even spiritually, this matters. It can feel like a contradiction to ask and you shall receive, that your role is to be recognized and invited, including by life itself. Reflectors, you are deeply environmental. You don't hold fixed definition. You read the system. Your alignment comes through environment, timing, observation. And if you feel disappointment, that's not failure. That's the system showing you you're in the wrong place. Reflectors and anyone with an open identity center, be aware that your environment is the foundation. If your environment isn't correct, if your home isn't correct, your job, your friends, your partners, they're not correct either. They can't be. It's just mechanically how it works. So reflectors, it's not failure to feel disappointment. It's just showing that you're in the wrong place. Inner authority is how you receive guidance. Here's something most people misunderstand. You are not meant to get answers through your thoughts. Your inner authority does not speak in words. Even for me as a manifestor, a single definition manifestor with the ajna defined, I don't think my authority. I will have thoughts after I know something that correlate to it. But thoughts are not your inner authority. It does not speak in words. It comes through sensation, timing, emotional clarity, instinct, intuition, and response. So when you ask, the answer doesn't arrive in a sentence. It arrives as a moment. I've also experienced hearing God, hearing the thought of God. The first word God ever gave me when I really started listening after my deconditioning process started was trust. Was just trust, the one word trust. And it came through my inner authority as a word. So when I say you don't hear, there are exceptions. They are rare and they are far in between. But I have the experience of hearing God inside myself, which is radical. And we all can experience that differently. Jesus and the system of life. Jesus is described as the way, the truth, and the life. From my perspective, these are not just symbolic titles, and they are the way, part of the global locks and keys titles. They reflect the core aspect of how life operates within creation. He wasn't the system, and he wasn't separate from it either. He was both God and man. He was aligned with it. He moved within it in a way that revealed truth, and his message gave people a way to relate to both God and life itself. You will not all agree on God, and that's okay. Human design shows us something very clearly. We are all different. Can we at least agree that we are all different? So if we're not going to agree on what God is, how to relate to God, how God works, that's okay. And it's not a flaw. That's part of the design. Your path is still yours. Even within a structured system, you are not generic. You have a unique design, a unique authority, a unique way of moving through life. Your upbringing, your environment, your conditioning, all of that shapes you, even today. But your authority, that brings you back to yourself. You don't think your way to truth. You won't find your path by analyzing, by overthinking, by trying to mentally solve life. You find it by interacting, asking, responding, making mistakes, learning from them, because life requires participation and accountability and integrity to alignment. There's no single right path. There is no perfect move, no flawless sequence. There's experience, feedback, adjustment to get to integrity, forgiveness for ourselves, forgiveness for the mistakes of others, and letting God heal you. And this is part of the support built into the system of life itself. God is beyond the system, always. And this is where everything comes back together. The system can guide you, respond to you, organize your experience, the program of life, but it is not Yahweh. It is not God. God is beyond the system. God is beyond the program, beyond what can be mapped. Something to have a relationship with. The system is something you can learn. God is something you relate to. My experience with this, I've lived this process. When I was younger, God wooed me. I was not forced religion. I was not told I had to conform any certain way. And as a child and into adulthood, God wooed me. He was my comfort. I have lived that process and I've walked away from God when I found human design. If God was real and human design was truth and God is love, how could they conflict? I used my ego as a heart ego manifester to push my way through life. And then life met me in a way that said, I'm still here. I went to the edge. I went to the edge and told God I was ready to end it. My life, taking it into my own hands, collapsed. I became homeless, something I'm very thankful to be free of today, having housing, having income, finding a way to do that in a way that aligns to my body as a manifester. And I'm sure you want to find a way to not be tired all the time, to not have to work all the time. The system here in the United States is very, very oppressive in certain ways and make it hard, but there are avenues your body can find, no matter where you are in the world, to get to a spot where it has enoughness. I'm designed to have money. I'm a 2145. That's the money line in human design. And to have enough doesn't mean having $1 million or even $50,000. It means having enough to be at peace in this present moment, to be supported in your community. My experience was radical, and God has always been something to lean on. And Christians themselves, the judgments that come through are on both sides of Christians and people saying they're living their human design. Judgments are a part of life. Jesus is loving. I walked away from God and he brought me back. In experiment, when I had walked away, he wooed me a second time and brought me back. I wouldn't have what I have today without him. I used my ego and will to push through life. And then life met me in a way that felt like I'm still here, not as a concept, but as something real that was providing for me. The day I gave up, the day I told God I was done, I had a house the next day. It doesn't always happen radically, and I was at the bottom, the very bottom. I was ready to die, and he provided. If there were a third testament, this is just my perspective, but if we look at the evolution of understanding, Old Testament, God as wrath. New Testament, God is love through Jesus Christ. Then what comes next? God is both, not one or the other, but full reality. Final thought for you. Right now, life is responding to you through a system, a structure, a design. And when you ask, seek, or knock, you are engaging with that system. But above all of it, there's still God. Not the system, not the mechanics, but the source beyond it. And the question becomes, are you learning how to interact with life while staying grounded in what's beyond it? Are you learning to interact with life while staying grounded in life and what's beyond it? Are you asking to find, seek, and knock the truth? And then the final question I have for you, are you ready to be accountable? Are you ready to walk in integrity? Maybe you're already walking in integrity and accountable for your actions. Brene Brown has a book, The Gifts of Imperfection, and it shows the difference between shame and guilt. Guilt is I did something wrong. Guilt is learning from your mistakes so you don't regret them. Shame is I am something wrong. I am the behavior. And no choice is a concept in human design that many use as a weapon, like Christians use their judgments and God's word as a weapon. We're all taught about no choice. No choice is not, I'm going to do this and I don't have to be accountable because I have no choice. That is the weapon some wield and choicelessness of human design, but it's not true. We are designed to be in integrity and accountable for our actions. That's how we align to see no choice. We surrender to the fact that we make mistakes. We surrender to the fact that we're flawed and that we're perfect in our imperfections is one of my favorite things to see Jesus atoned for our sins. He atoned for our mistakes. So when we make mistakes, which we all do, realizing that we have an ally, a friend to help us heal, the great healer. There are many avenues of healing. The greatest is Jesus. I've known people call upon Jesus' name that don't believe that he is God, and he has lended his power to them. And I've seen this. Jesus' name has power. So whether you believe in no choice or you believe in God and you believe in Yahweh, whether you study human design and the mechanics themselves, please know that you have a friend in Jesus. You can seek, ask, and knock. The Global Orchestration Directory is designed to support and empower us right now. And after 2027, it won't be a projector anymore. It will be a manifesting generator responding on its own. And that's going to be beautiful, and the changes are radical. Are you ready for them? If you would, like and subscribe to this video and give me feedback in the comments whether or not you want more of this content, any questions or comments you may have, and you can always reach out to me personally. You can check out Human Design Parents, the Facebook group, if you want more content for human design. As well, you can follow Holistic Human Design on Facebook, my website, holistichd.com, and you can find Holistic Human Design on the Skool network, Skool, the app, where this will also be in writing if you would like to check it out. There's probably a link below in the YouTube video. May peace be with you, whoever you are, whenever you are, wherever you are.